Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a box to open. A little white rectangular box, as such, you may know, is going to be from Rivers Edge Cutlery. I get packages from Rivers Edge Cutlery more than the average person. They are my favorite knife retailer, I think is safe to say. They're who I order from the most. They're super supportive of my channel, which is awesome. Great guys over there. So as always, when I get stuff from them, I like to link to them down below. So you'll find their Instagram, their website, their YouTube channel, all that linked down below. And this is an exciting one. So I've actually unboxed this exact knife before, like the one that's in here. I have unboxed this before, but it has gone through a change. So this is a Spyderco Subvert, which is a Black Snow Customs design. I've actually owned one of these before. Not this exact one, but I've owned one, and I called it the Danger Banana. Some friends of mine that became the name for it in our group chat long time ago when this knife first came out, and one of my buddies got one. In fact, it's the one that I owned. Anyway, it's kind of come full circle because I've missed that knife after selling the one that I had, and I've just thought it would be fun to have one again. But I always knew if I got another one that I would want to change it a little bit, because I'm not the biggest fan of the just bright orange everything, especially on such a gigantic knife. In some ways it's kind of fun, but to have a keeper one, I wanted it to be a little different. So turns out Rivers Edge Cutlery now does Cerakoting services. Mike over there, I think, is the one who's kind of handling all that. I guess he's gone and like fully gotten legitimate training, so they're like certified Cerakote. Pretty crazy stuff, and they've been doing some bananas customization on a bunch of different things. I've seen them do some Vero knives. I've seen them do, I want to say they did an Arius. They've been doing some crazy stuff, and I've got some other buddies who are sending stuff to them right now because they keep posting pictures of these like knives that they're customizing. They look phenomenal. So I immediately sent this knife right back to them at Rivers Edge Cutlery and had them do this Cerakote job, which I'm really, really excited to see in person. They did send me a couple of photos when they first did it, but man, I'm pumped for it to be here and to see it with my own eyes. They also, I've never seen them do this before. This is a Renegade EDC move. They tossed in some Zots candies in here, and the only time I've ever had these have been in Renegade EDC packages, and then the other day I happened to see some, so of course I sent Chris a picture of the box of them that I saw out in the wild. But that's cool. They're tossing candy in now. So this is the Spyderco box wrapped in paper, and away we go. One thing that's hilarious to me is that on this knife, it says the Subvert. They put it in a normal Spyderco box, and it doesn't fit. It bulges. And this is the box they use at Spyderco. So they only do this box, or a littler version of this box, basically. And they're like, yeah, we'll just put it in there anyways, even though it actually doesn't fit, and it like bends the box. Oh shoot, this looks so good. I can already tell through the freaking plastic. So it was really tough to decide what color scheme I wanted to go with on this, because like with Cerakote, it's just kind of like the sky's the limit, right? You can pick whatever color, and they can coat the G10, they can coat the titanium, they could coat the blade. I didn't have them do that because I love the satin on this blade, but it was really tough to pick. Basically, the only rules that they have there are on Spyderco's, they aren't allowed to do their OD Green FDE, like the colors of their exclusive Para 3 and PM2 and now Lil Native. They can't do that colorway because of their agreement as a retailer with Spyderco. They can't basically like recreate their own exclusives internally. That would in some way violate it. So it says that on the site. I knew not to ask for that. Oh, this looks so good. This absolutely exceeds my expectations. Holy crap, this looks dope. So what I went with, as you can see, is all of the titanium and steel components. The frame, or the liners, I guess you'd call it, the hardware, the clip are all black. And then the scales, like I said, they can Cerakote G10. The scales are now flat dark earth. So it's FDE and black, and I kept the blade satin, as you can see, which part of me really wanted to black out the blade as well, because it would tie in that way, but I think I made the right call because I love this satin. And look at that, the contrast with the handle. This is, it's not just bananas, it's danger bananas. This is so freaking legit. I feel like this knife went from being like quirky and funky in a fun way, granted, to being like, it like added this tactical element to a knife that typically is not tactical at all. This looks like a combat folding machete. This is wild. So yeah, it's literally every single bit internally, everywhere, super evenly applied. Man, yeah, this is gorgeous. There's no scuffs or scratches or thin spots or I don't know. I mean, this is as good of a Cerakote job as I've ever seen. Even this clip too, you can just barely faintly see where the laser etching is of the Spyderco logo. I don't know if that'll come through at all. You can just like barely make it out because it's, I guess the logo's raised, or is it indented? They laser etch it on there, so I guess it's probably indented just slightly. But yeah, you can just barely see kind of the outline of it still. But yeah, everything is just meticulous on here. Man, this is sick. Let's see how the action is. It feels smoother than when I sent it to them. I'm imagining they had to, definitely they disassembled and reassembled this knife, so that's probably part of why they put it back together even smoother than it was right out of the box. Oh man, this knife is addicting for that. It's just such a gigantic, heavy blade. And the ergos are like really good, obviously, because it's gigantic and it fills the hand out super well. I mean, I've reviewed this knife already, but I'm definitely going to be doing a new review with this one now in this setup and after carrying it and using it more. Man, this is so freaking good. I'm really impressed with how this turned out, and I'm super glad that I didn't go with the black blade. I mean, it would look awesome for sure. There's no way that it wouldn't look really cool, but I think this was the right call, keeping the blade satin. The flat dark earth looks amazing too, and it actually, I feel like it's added some texture somehow to these handle scales, because the factory G10 on these is pretty smooth. It's not like a Peel Ply G10 where it's grippy and textury. It's like a polished G10, and this seems to have somehow, I don't know if you can see, there's like the grain you can still see like you see on the orange, but it seems to have like maybe even amplified it a tiny bit somehow. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels a little grippier than I remember this knife feeling without it being coated, which is cool too. Man, this is wild. Yeah, this is like a totally different knife now. This is so exciting. Awesome. Well, expect to see a lot of pictures on the gram of this guy. This is so gorgeous. And there's something so fun about having a knife that's like customized, right? And unique. And it's just, this is one of a kind now. I've never seen another Spyderco Subvert that looks like this. This is in a league of its own. And yeah, so the way I understand it right now, I'll put a link down below to the section on the site where they talk about their Cerakoting services. At the moment, the way that it works is basically you email Mike over there about what you want, and they'll kind of quote you based on the extent of the job and what colors you want. And they're doing really cool stuff over there. If you don't follow them on Instagram, they post some pictures now and then of the Cerakote projects that they're up to. It's really good, and this is freaking top notch. It looks so good. This looks like it could have come from Spyderco, just in this colorway now. Like it genuinely, it looks like it's a sprint run Subvert. and it's dope. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Came back to me perfectly centered. The action is even more dialed than it was when it left. They took great care of it, obviously. And man, this is so good. So yeah, I'll link down below to all of their stuff. And if you're interested in having them Cerakote one of your knives, basically you just kind of reach out to them and talk to them about it, and they'll set you up. And you're probably going to like it. I do. I'm stoked about this, and it makes me so much more excited to own one of these for myself and to have a Subvert, or a danger banana, if you will, so that I can keep it this time and enjoy it properly. And with this modification, I'm going to enjoy it so much more. So anyway, it's out of the box. There will be a full review coming soon. I'm not going to do a first impressions because I've already fully reviewed this knife in the past, but I'll be doing an updated review, kind of a little more long-term, and with these mods on it, which I think it's worthy of being reviewed again with this new setup. So thanks for checking it out, guys. I'll see you on the next one.